This could be a colossal mistake. Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to be building a custom desk in my bedroom for me to do my editing on. In the last house that we lived in, I had my own little home office. So I had my desk, I had a couch, I had a big huge whiteboard, dry erase board, I had my musical instruments, I had a drum kit, and a giant Lego castle. All of that stuff was really cool, but I found that over time, I ended up more and more editing in bed, or what I call bed-editing. And I did that because I had a pregnant wife that I didn't get to spend much time with, and it was nice to be there with her and edit and talk with her and have a conversation and just hang out. I decided that when we moved, I would not take the office that's downstairs. We do have an office that we're, I think, turning into a homeschool room, not totally sure on that yet. But instead of that, I would convert a little closet in the bedroom into a desk space for myself. My hope for this space was to have a desk that could be sitting or standing and have shelves up above and could be closed away so that you wouldn't know it was there when I wasn't using it. I ended up talking to a really talented cabinet maker about building the desk area, and he had these really cool ideas, like this big huge barn door that would slide across this whole space right here, and a really beautiful design for the desk with a bank of drawers and stuff like that. And ultimately I decided, although I will miss not having the really cool desk that he designed and the giant barn door that would look really cool, I could save some money and just build it myself. Maybe down the line I'll hire him to build that barn door concept because it's really cool. But at this point, it didn't make sense for me to spend the amount of money that I would need to spend. Earlier in the week, I went to IKEA to get these, which are great in our bedroom. And while I was there, I went and looked at the different desk options that they had. They did not have what I wanted. I came up with a plan while I was in the store of how to build exactly what I wanted. It might not work, so this could be a colossal mistake and waste of time, but it could work. And if it does work, it's gonna be really awesome, and I'm very excited about it. So let's get started. The base I'm gonna be using is called a bacant, some word that I can't pronounce. There are two sizes of this. This one is the 120 by 80 centimeters or 47¼ by 31½ inch. There are two types of tabletops that you're supposed to use with this. Neither one fit my space, and they were also kind of ugly. So I've decided to just get the base, and I'm gonna be using a different tabletop when I'm building the desk. I'm glad you're here to help me because so far everything's just kind of been out of the box standard stuff. It's about to get a little more complicated because I'm going to use this tabletop, which is not designed to be used with this particular base. This is the Hilver. It should fit in here, and it should have a really cool like bamboo look, which Jessica really liked, with this cool beveled edge. Hopefully this all works out. See this little symbol? I love when they say that. This is one of the things I was worried about. These little things use a precision hole that's drilled into the piece that you get from IKEA, and this table does not have that. So I have to figure out exactly the right dimensions for this thing to work. We have to drill a hole partway through this wood, but not all the way through the wood. How do you think we're gonna gauge that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna show you a little trick. You look at where the deepest you would go would be. And for these guys, let's measure here. These guys are gonna go in this deep. So that's the deepest spot that I would wanna go, and I put a piece of tape right there. So that way I know when I'm drilling not to go past the tape. and it appears to be hollow inside, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm gonna do a test bolt and see if I can wiggle the thing around so that I can do the other bolts after I do the test bolt. Apparently these pegs tighten this up, so could you go ahead and hammer those in? Okay, I got the desk inside of the space. It fits really nicely in here. Check it out. The legs are a little bit more visible than they were in the store because the original table was too wide for this space, so it covered more of the legs. Jessica and I are a little like, meh, on the legs. I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of solution there, some aesthetic solution, but this is the coolest thing. Check this out. Oh, we're going up. We're going up. Yes. So now I have a standing space that I can use. Or we can go on down into a sitting space. Sitting position. Comfortable standing position. This is about how tall I would ever make this go for comfortable working in a standing position. And what I want are two shelves, one here and one here, that are kind of shallow shelves that will fit on either side of my computer screen. So I need to put my computer screen here, give myself a little bit of extra space, and then cut the shelves to match. And then I want at least one long shelf up here, and this space will be pretty close to done. So it looks like I have 17¼ inches on either side here. So I'm gonna make my shelves 14 inches. That'll give me a little bit of clearance on either side. Which brings me to the next problem that I have with this project, which is that IKEA sells that tabletop, that cool bamboo tabletop, but not shelves that go with it. There are no shelves that they sell that I could find that match it at all. So my solution was to buy another tabletop. That way I can get this nice cool edge on all my shelves and it'll match perfectly with my table. I'll cut a 8-inch to 12-inch strip on one side, and then the other side I'll cut into the two smaller shelves. Okay, so a couple things. First off, this is more difficult than I thought. If I had a bandsaw or a table saw, this would be much easier and much more precise, but I don't have either of those things. So I'm using the finest tooth saw, hand saw that I have, and the wood is still splitting because it's bamboo and it's hollow inside. So as you can see, the cut is really ragged. I'm gonna have to do a lot of sanding or something when I'm done. But I'm partway through it. I've got it clamped into my table here. I'm getting through it. I think it'll still work, but it has been a little slower and a little more difficult than I had anticipated. Another thing is I'm going at it from both sides because it's hollow. So I drew my mark on this side and on the other side, and half of the time I'm cutting at an up angle on one side, and then I flip around and go at an up angle on the other side to avoid the splitting. First cut is done. As you can see, inside is cardboard corrugate. So that's what's inside one of these tables. Now you know. All my cuts are made for the shelves. All I need to do is go to the hardware store and get some brackets. But before I do that, I want to spend a little time with my kids because they've been coming in and out. Jacob helped me out with a little bit of this, but I haven't spent any like focused time with them. So I'm gonna do that real quick before I go to the hardware store. Hey Duncan, are you on your play mat?
He's playing.
Are you playing? What are you playing with? Are you looking at that fish? What's that fish doing?
He was actually more interested in this earlier.
This little octopus?
Yeah, but maybe he's switching to the fish.
I think he just likes the camera. You want the camera?
You could take a little napkin or a blanket and go like that. He usually gets pretty excited. Oh.
Have fun? Oh.
He's gonna have the cleanest face at the dinner table when he's older.
Oh, look at that octopus. Look at it go. What's it doing?
Ooh.
What's that little octopus doing? Is he just hanging around? Look at your little hands. Your little hands are so busy.
This is a really odd octopus though. Like, It just,
Is it an octopus?
it does, I mean, it looks like an octopus. It's the head of an octopus, but all it has is like 2 little nubs. Kind of sad. It's missing the things that make it an octopus.
It's a nubdopus.
It's a nubdopus.
I'm playing with mommy's hand now.
Hey.
Kick, kick, kick.
Kick, 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 kick. Loves to kick. I know there is a toy a mat that's kind of like this, that I think maybe it has a piano on it or something. It's like for the babies that kick a lot, and maybe we should have gotten him that one. I think he'll like.
Can it make tap dance noises?
That
would be a good one.
Little tap dancing baby.
What are you working on today, Bailey?
School.
You learning about presidents? Which president are you learning about right now?
Hayes.
He looks pretty serious. He looks almost as serious as Duncan usually looks. Bailey, I don't think enough people know much about Rutherford Hayes. Could you give us a fact? What's an interesting fact?
He was a governor from Ohio.
Oh, it doesn't get more interesting than that. Governor from Ohio.
Love it.
Love Ohio. You love Ohio, don't you? What's your favorite part of Ohio?
All of it.
All of it? I like the giant lake flies that come up
Oh yeah,
and cover
that's
everything.
fun.
You do like that? I was joking. You like that? She really likes everything about Ohio. So apparently they've gotten permission to use these in a squirting in the face sort of way.
No, we're spraying ourselves so it gets soaking wet.
Oh yeah?
We're spraying other people. And it's a lot of fun.
Jacob doesn't look that wet though. Parker, you look pretty wet. Jacob doesn't look let me see this gun. Let me see if this even... Oh, you've got it on the like fan instead of the spray. You've got it on spray instead of stream. Now try. Oh, fires a little further now, doesn't it? You gotta squeeze it a little harder. Here, move this finger out of the way. No, don't spray me. I'm not playing. I don't have a sprayer. I don't have a sprayer. Yikes! This camera is not waterproof! And this is the final look for now. There's a couple little things that I want to change here and there, but for the most part, this thing is all done. I'll give you a little tour of my office. This wall got painted white, and we found these brackets that Jessica really liked. And you can see that all of the shelves have this cool edge to it. They're all the exact same as the desk. We shot a P.O. Box haul video that's going up in like 2 days that explains where these pictures came from, but they're super cool. I'm really excited about it, and they fit in perfectly here, so I love these. These are awesome. I've got boxes instead of drawers up top here. The 2 little shelves, the desk, the legs. At first I was kind of like not too excited about these legs, but now that that wall is white, I think they blend in a little bit better. I've got a cool little docking space for my watch and my phone. So this is the sitting position. I can push this button here, and the whole thing will start to rise up. And now it's at the perfect position for me to do standing work. It's supposed to be better for your back and your body to be standing and not just sitting all day. So this gives me both options. This is super cool. I'm surprised at how well this worked. I was worried that these shelves weren't gonna work at all. They ended up working. I was worried this tabletop wasn't gonna attach to the base. It ended up working. A few little things that I wanna change here and there. I'd like to figure out a way of making the wires not as dangly. And I think there's an easy way to clean that up. I didn't have time to do that today. This is how it comes from IKEA, with this like net to hold all of the electronics in it. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think if I just bolt those into the table, it's gonna clean it up and I can take that net away. But from here, it just kind of looks out of place. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that in a little bit, but I'm super pleased with this. I'm really, really excited about it. And I hope that this was a good example to you about how you can make custom furniture using stuff from an out-of-the-box style furniture store like IKEA. Hopefully this gets your creativity going and you can make something your own. Hi, let's talk about what we learned today. We learned how much joy I get out of changing the position of my desk. We learned that Duncan loves nubdopusses, or is the plural nubdipi. And finally we learned that You should never help Parker fix his water gun. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.